Yo, what up, man? Chris, somebody checking back in, man. Back with the blog, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe button away, and I appreciate all the support, man. We back here with another clone video, man. You know, Hip Hop is Real dropped. Looks like they have a few things that's about to drop. Actually, that's not even out yet, but they got the entire interrogation interview that happened with Clone, and it's not looking good. I gotta keep it real with you, man. You know, I said yesterday I don't got nothing against Clone personally. I met him before, seen him a few times on Bullpen. I even went to one of his events down in Macon when Riggs battled A-Ward like a couple years ago. So, I mean, never had a problem with him, but I gotta keep it real with you. The interrogation don't look good, man. And if I'm being honest, Clone, it's over, man. It's over, bro. It is over. I don't really know how you get around this situation now because you just, you talk too much, man. You talk too much in the interrogation. I know in the beginning, for those of y'all that hasn't seen it, he done went through the whole, you know, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing, man. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. You know, I don't know anything. You know, why you keep asking me, but I don't really know. He went through that at first, but you in there without a lawyer, and you know, they got a lot of tactics, a lot of different things to get you to talk, and eventually he starts breaking things down, saying like, yo, man, you know, I'm about to go home to my family, man. You know, you about to be charged, you about to be arrested. I'm about to go home to my family. This is your only time to talk. And you started naming people that was part of the gang, and you started naming leaders that was part of the gang, and the amount of people that was under them, and you know, eventually these people ended up getting arrested. So I won't necessarily say that without you, they would have never got arrested ever. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know. I won't say that. I won't put it all like, oh, Clone did everything, and that's the only. Clearly, they was involved in a lot of criminal activity, and some of them was arrested for different stuff and in trouble for different things, and maybe somewhere down the road, they might have been able to piece this whole thing together without Clone's, you know, I guess, help or whatever. But you did speak too much, bro. You spoke too much, and you a street nigga. You in the gang. I know you trying to tell him in an interrogation like, yo, I'm not in the gang. I'm not in the gang. But, you know, ever since I've known you, that's pretty much what you've been claiming, and you just talk too much, dog. And that right there is going to label you a snitch, and I don't know how you get around that. And I don't even really know where you go from here. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. Let me just play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's a long video. It's on Hip Hop is Real. I don't know if it's on private or not, or it's out or whatever. But it starts off. Let me adjust the camera. On right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty much looking like he don't even want to be here. So let me turn up the volume and see. Okay.
I'm not charging you with anything, but the indictment, I think, is going to include your facilitation of a lot of criminal activity through making three-way calls. It's my understanding.
Basically, what he just said is the indictment is going to charge you because, you know, especially if you was making three-way calls. So he basically telling them that some three-way calls that was made from jail or whatever was, I guess, including Clone into, I guess, this whole RICO thing that they're trying to do. So this is how it starts off, and you're gonna hear Clone basically, you know, trying to say that he's not involved. So at first he was trying to hold fast.
Look, it may be crazy, but this is where you are, right? It doesn't matter where you want it to be or whether you want to be here or not. This is where we are. And this is your moment to do something or not.
I'll do what you want me to do, but you're asking me for information I can't give you what you want.
Look, man, I don't know what's in your head, right? I didn't get the chance to listen to all the calls before I came down here, but you were on the calls. So you know not only what you heard, you know what you said, right? And it's more than you told me that you heard and said, all right? And that's fine, right? But you're in this. The calls are the calls. They're already there. You can't go back and change them, all right? So do you want to talk about what's been going on in the phone calls, what the gang's been doing, or any of those things at all? Even in the general sense. We can start with general instead of specific if you want. That's fine with me. But like I said, I don't know nothing about nothing that's not going to hold up.
Okay. telling you what the conversations have been about.
Look, man, if you're not gonna talk about any more than they're saying what's up and how's it going and how's mama doing, then can I go? Because this is a waste of my time.
He's asking.
Look, man, that's all it is. If all you do is say, hey, mama, how you been doing? How's cousin doing? Whatever. That's all it is. And then you're not
I
gonna
think
be
you want to know what he's asking. He's not orchestrating criminal activity when he's talking to his members or whatever, though. He's actually asking them for money. What are y'all doing out there? Are y'all?
And what do they say they're doing out there? Working and going to school? Okay. Okay.
That sounds crazy. A lot of them, I mean, the ones that I talk, they have jobs.
They may have jobs. Doesn't mean they ain't getting paid.
So this goes on for a little bit. There's a lot of, you know, I don't really know. We just having regular conversations. It's just nothing. And eventually he gets to telling a little bit more. Let me try to fast forward to, I guess.
Let's back it up in stuff. Does the gang have an organizational structure?
No.
They don't have any organization. So what Muscle doesn't have any kind of rank?
No, Muscle is just who started Aight.
So he started a gang, and there are people that are underneath him. So he's the leader.
Yes, sir.
Who else is in leadership?
Yeah, SOS, one of the dudes that I called.
Okay.
He was in leadership, and one of his, who was in leadership before that, who I used to call before SOS, he's locked up.
Okay. Who's that?
Hurt.
Hurt. And how many people do they have under them?
So I don't know numbers.
Okay.
I have no numbers.
Yes. How many would you estimate?
20, 30.
20 or 30 people, and they're all in Atlanta? Or where?
I don't know.
You don't know. So these guys are in Atlanta, they're organizing people.
All right, so I guess basically eventually he started asking about, you know, the gang, and he started talking about some person named Hurt and some person named, what was the other person that he named? Some person named Muscle and all this kind of stuff, and it just went on, and he started talking about they got 20 to 30 people under them. And so these people are basically saying that, based on Clone saying this in the interrogation room, they was starting to build a RICO behind these people. And I don't know, Clone, like, you just talk too much, bro. You just talk too much at the end of the day. Let me put this camera back. And, you know, this is what they do in the interrogation room. They basically manipulate stuff. They switch how they answer stuff, and they kind of wait on a whole lot of, well, I'm going home. This is your one time to talk. You know, you better say something. It's your one time to talk. And I felt like you tried to say enough to give them enough to leave you alone, but not enough so that you just threw everybody completely under the bus. But you tried to say that the people that you were naming initially, you were trying to say it was a record label. And then later on in the video, you're basically trying to say it's a gang. So, and it's not against the law to be in a gang. You know, that's not against the law. It's against the law to be in a gang and doing criminal activity. And it's clearly that's what they're basically trying to say that happened. So, I don't know, bro. It's a bad look. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad look. I don't know how you get around it. You know, I don't really know where you go from here. Hip Hop is Real is about to drop another video with some dude right here on the phone with somebody, with this female, and this female is basically saying, I guess her name is Lady Muscle. So I don't know if she's like, I don't know if there's a Muscle that's a guy and there's a Lady Muscle but apparently she's like a high ranking person or whatever the case may be. And Clone gave her name, and then in this little interview right here, this is on Hip Hop is Real.
You was informant on our case.
I don't want to play it because it's on members only, but it ain't even dropped yet. You know what I'm saying? But she talk about Clone giving her 25 years, and basically Clone name dropped her. And then from there, they eventually arrest her. She don't dime nobody out. That video ain't even dropped yet. And so yeah, like hip hop, like it's just crazy because Hip Hop is Real is just going on and on and on with the people that they catching up with, and it's just not looking good, bro. And this is why, you know, it kind of reminds me of the bad news situation. Once again, your arrogance gets you in trouble. First of all, you just got to be honest. as honest as you want to be. You know what I'm saying? As honest as you want to be. Like I try to be, I talk a lot about, like even my situation is obviously certain things that I couldn't say. I got a lawyer advising me not to talk about Two Doors Down and not to talk about this. But in your situation, your case is over with. When the shit hit the fan, you got to be as honest as you can. And you came off just like Bad News did. As arrogant, I ain't do nothing. I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. Y'all, prove to me that I snitched. Prove to me I did this. And then you start attacking the people that's coming out at you and attacking bloggers. And now that this video is out, you're not going to have nobody defend you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody defend you at all. I'm just looking at that even came out yet. Hitman Clown's clone. You know what I'm saying? This battle rap trap just dropped a few minutes ago. No allies in battle rap. Nobody that can sit here and defend this video at all. So I don't really know where you go from here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you go from here. I don't got no dog in a race. I don't got nothing against Clone, but you done a lot of spaces. You done a lot of, Hip Hop Is Real interviews, stuff like that. They done caught it with damn near all your codees. They talking to the lady from the jail. Everybody is implementing you. And in the video, you definitely name dropped in the video, and they're going to consider that snitching, especially if the people that you name drop are people that eventually got locked up in a RICO case. There's no way around that. I'm not saying that they would have never got a RICO without you talking. I'm not, clearly they doing things, and maybe the law would have caught up with them at some point in time. They brought you in here off of a 3-way phone call. There was a jail phone call that you had that you basically was talking to gang members. They brought you in and you gave the names away. So I don't really know. I don't really know where you go from here. I just think your battle career is the same way with Bad News at. Same way with Bad News at. Same way where Aight Boom at. And I don't know how niggas book you and you talk this street shit now. And in a lot of your battles, you do glorify, I ain't gonna say glorify, but you talk about your time in jail and shit that you learned and stuff like that. And that shit just not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. And if John is not booking you niggas, and I don't even know if Bullpen is doing any events this year or whatever the case may be, if John ain't booking you, I don't really know who's gonna book y'all niggas, because this is all just a bad look. And once the culture decides they want to completely turn their back on you, like I said, you're not popular enough to get some type of support. Like sometimes people still give you some type of support, but you're not popular enough to get that kind of support. You're not liked enough. You're not popular enough. People that do fuck with you, like John ain't even really speaking out on your behalf. Like, yo, I really know Clone. He not like this. Like, nobody's really going that route. You arguing with bloggers who got way bigger voices than you, like Piperboy and stuff like that. Hip Hop Is Real. I guess you gave them paperwork before, thinking that they was on your side and trying to explain different stuff. And I know you was trying to discredit one of the codees, saying that he messed with a minor and everything. He kind of like low-key cleared it up, but I don't really know. But that doesn't negate the fact that you still told in the video, regardless of whatever the other dude got going on. Like, he may have some crazy situations and or whatever the case may be, but it don't negate the fact that you still name dropped in the video. And dog, y'all niggas cannot talk, be street niggas, talk or testify. It don't matter what happens after that. It don't matter if you get arrested. It don't matter if you get time. You cannot be a street dude and have the word he testified behind your name, or he talked, or videos of you talking. You cannot do that. They're gonna label you a snitch. It don't even matter what happens after the fact. That's the label you're going to get, and I don't really know how you get around it, my guy. I just got to keep it real with you. So that's where we are. We can close the Clone chapter. I mean, I don't really know what Clone can say. You talk way too much. Then you did videos. You went in spaces just to tell niggas that you talk too much. I mean, like, you just handled this situation bad. I don't even know if it would have snowballed as much as it would have snowballed if you wouldn't have really attacked Block. And it's one thing you got to realize. You can realize this from my situation. You can realize this from other situations of things that have happened with people in this culture, whether it was bloggers or it was people. Battle rap is very relentless, man. And when bloggers and media, when they have, I'm not going to say an agenda, but when they have a point to prove or whatever, it's a lot of researching and all that. I'll speak on paperwork and stuff like that, or I'll speak on what's going on. I'm not the researcher. I'm never going to go look for it or whatever. It just comes across the desk. I'll talk about it. I'm not going to be Googling your name, and I'm not never doing no shit like that. I don't care enough about that kind of stuff. But if it comes across and to be talked about or becomes a public thing, I'll speak on it. But other than that, I'm not going to be the one to be breaking no story. Like, yo, I was looking up Clone and Macon George and found, like, I'm not going to be reaching out to no gang members, trying to get no videos from them. I'm not doing that. But other people in this culture will, bro. Even if they got to pay for this shit, they will. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to make a name. Everybody's trying to get, you know, a little bit of clout or a little bit of traction in battle rap in some terms of media. And then they feel like they want to expose stuff, they'll expose it. At first, I thought this wasn't really no big deal. I feel like you discrediting it made it more of a big deal than it would have been, and you just didn't handle it right. So now that you kind of like made it seem like everybody was fucking fools for calling you a snitch, only to come out that you was talking too much. So now niggas will label you a snitch. That's just my thoughts, man. So, I mean, Clone, I wish you the best, but I think your battle career is over with, bro. I keep it real with you. Holla at your boy.